Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. My name's Katrina, and this is the Sow and Tare live chat every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So, welcome. Um, so, how we do this is I go through the comments and going through, and people ask questions, people bring up discussion topics. If you have a discussion topic or question, please put that in the comments, and we'll get to it when we get to it in order. And then in the middle, I have a pre-planned discussion topic, and then we'll continue chatting away. All right. Please keep all comments family friendly. Thank you. All right. I got to scroll back up because you guys are always here before me. Erica says, welcome, Erica. Erica says, man, I was hoping to be first. On here, it looks like it's first. Sometimes people get here way, way early, and then I don't ever see it. But you're first in my chat. Welcome. Hey, Steve's here. Welcome. You know, the first one here has to greet everyone that comes in after you. Ha ha. Erica says, well, then hello, Steve. That's great. You guys are funny. Everybody's saying hi. Verna's here. And Verna is my moderator. She is in blue. She catches the bad guys, and she has her own channel, The Vase Place. She does lives on Saturday mornings, and she raises cuy and quail in her apartment and has a small garden. So check her channel out. Erica says, I warned everyone last night that I was going to be showing up tonight. Uh-oh. Verna, you're sick? I hope that you're feeling better. I hope it passes quickly. Yeah. Thanks for the warning, Erica. Steve says, oh no, did we need a warning? No, you didn't need a warning. Steve, can I borrow someone's homework? I didn't do mine. What was the homework? I don't remember. I don't think we did homework this time. We just did homework last time. You're funny. Hey, Joy's here. Hi. Hello, all from Western Oregon. I ended up with 33 chicks out of 50 already sold. 2, awesome. And we'll take the ones I'm not keeping to sell at the feed store when they're a week old. They have been selling. That's incredibly awesome. Awesome. Good job. Speaking of quail, QuailCon is September 2nd and 3rd, and that is in my Shireburg. In Miamisburg, Ohio, at my Shire Farm is what I meant to say. And I'm going to be giving a master class on aviaries and aviary setup, and other people are doing other things. It's going to be really, really great. Verna's going to be doing an intro talk and master class. As people pop up, I'll tell you. How about that? And then also Quail University. So Quail University is happening, and I have a link. My links are always in the descriptions. Verna may also put up the link. I'm not sure. She probably already did. But Quail University is a really, really, really great thing. And the 101 course is up and running. And lots of people have graduated from the 101 course and are finding it really fantastic. If you use my link, then I get a kickback. So that will help me a little bit. All right. Cool. There's my sales pitch. Verna's teasing Steve. Wonderful news to Joy. Verna says, yes. I think that's great. Yeah. Erica says, the puppy we found a couple of weeks ago passed away about half an hour ago. I had to be here to keep my sanity. Oh, no. Erica, I'm sorry. I'm glad that you were able to try, though, because that, I know it got a really good care at the end of its life. That's so sad. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. That's never fun. Oh, Joy says like crazy. They sell out in 2 days. Joy, how much are you selling them for? Or like how much? I guess how much are they marking them up at the? Like, are you selling them to the feed store and then they're selling them on top of it, or are they letting you sell through them? That would be a really interesting thing to know. Yeah, Steve is responding to Joy. That's 66%. Pretty good. Yep, I agree. Steve is stock is a refrigerator with quail. Yeah. Verna says, I'm still trying to stock my cages. LOL. Then comes the freezer. Yep. Yeah, my freezer's pretty full. We canned quail last time we did it. I've been eating a lot more meat, and so the rabbit and the quail, it's super easy if you can it. It really really is. If you guys didn't see the video I did about canning quail, I have an older one, and then I have a newer one, which is part of the pressure canning, part of the intro to canning series that I did, and it's the pressure canning part 2. But canned, and I do need to do another video about how to not get as many ribs in your food because that has happened with quail. But having that canned meat, it's so much different than the canned meat at the stores. It's so much different, and it's so much better, and it's quick. It's so quick. So I am liking it. I'm going through it very quickly, and I need to actually go through my freezer and see what's in there because I know we have some quail in there. I know we have rabbit in there. And the rabbit, I think I need to start eating through that rabbit that's in the freezer. So yeah, there you go. Greetings. This is Steve. Greetings from Mississippi. I got like 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And Verna says she's 8th. Steve, you're funny. Thank you. Joy says, yeah, I think real good for some of my quail are 2-year. Oh, okay. So you have 2-year-old breeders. That's really good then. Yeah. And Erica is agreeing. That's great news, Joy. Joy says, my MyShare eggs are in incubator now. So excited. Awesome. Mine are in lockdown underneath you guys. And so hopefully we'll have some coming out. We have some of my eggs and some eggs from Cali Quail Keepers, Brooke. And she ships to within California. She does not do out of state. But she has some good birds. And she's also going to be at QuailCon doing crafts with Ed and her are going to be having giving away craft ideas, and I think she's doing crafts with kids. I think Ed's more like teaching crafts. All right. Buster says hi to all. Hello. I think I skipped. Time to think about the replacements, Joy. Well, she might be raising some replacements. Steve says, I think I have to build a new cage to get up to par. Don't know where to put these new girls. Well, that sounds like you need a new spot. Yeah. You got to find that plot of land. Verna says, I'll be working on my cages this week, flipping some for cooey and keeping 3 the same for quail. Awesome. That's so neat that the same setup works for your cooey. That's awesome. Joy says, I know, Verna, but I hate to replace males that get along so well with their girls. You know, it happens and they'll be fine. If they grow up with them, I mean, it'll just be like, oh, we always know each other. So if you replace the males and the females, you can do it. But it's nice to hear that you have such good males. Steve says, well, if you get a 66% out of your own eggs, I think I'd keep them a few more months. You know, that's not bad thinking. That's not bad thinking. Yeah. In fact, that's good thinking. Hey, Aaron's here. Welcome, Aaron. Hello, everyone. Looks like I'm late to the party. I know you're missing that first place. Man, step it up. Welcome. Oh, and at this point, I wasn't on yet. So Verna's saying party really hasn't started. Aaron, Katrina isn't here yet. I am now. The hostess isn't here yet. That's so funny. The fashionably late Aaron, always welcome sight, Steve says. Yep. All right. I think this is about when I came on. So let's see what we have. By the way, everybody's saying hi to each other. Steve says, you find a Queen Aaron? Oh, a Queen Aaron. Queen, comma, Aaron. One that does not sting. Interesting. She's here, Steve, give me looks. Oh. Joy says, delivered 30 dozen eggs to a raw pet food company today. Woohoo. Yes, woohoo. That is awesome. Awesome. Do you wash those eggs or are they unwashed? Just out of curiosity. Learning from you, Joy. You're having a great adventure here. And yeah, Steve agrees. That's great, Joy. Hey, Ed's here. Hi, all. Hi, Ed. Everybody saying hi. Hello. And Vernica put some links. She put my Facebook page and the affiliate link for Quail University. Thank you. And Steve says family friendly, like it. Yep. Gotta have that warning. Angela's here. Hi, finally made it to live. Welcome, Angela. I'm glad that you could make it. If you have any discussion topics or questions, put them in the chat. If you want to answer people's questions that they put in there, answer them. And it's a fun time. Everybody's saying hi to you. Hey, Landry's Little Farm. Hi, everyone. Hi, Brad. Welcome. And Chelsea's here too. Hello, everyone. Hi, Chelsea. Hopefully you were able to make some phone calls and get some compost going. I think that was you. Oh, Verna says dizzy as heck, dang weather in ears. Oh, okay, it's weather related. We had rain today. We were supposed to have rain today. We were supposed to have rain tomorrow, which is going to happen. We actually had, it was in the forecast to have thunderstorms tomorrow. And thunderstorms is like something that never happens here. So it's very weird. Anyway, I hope that you are feeling better soon. Yes. And Steve saying the same thing. Hey, Chelsea, did you get your compost? That's your homework. Verna said Katrina Steve was supposed to do his microgreens. Oh. I still haven't done sprouts. I mean, I've done them, just not recently. I kept on saying I was going to, but now that we're in gardening season, I think I'm doing other things. I planted tomatoes and tomatillos today. Transplanted the ones that I planted from seed earlier. So did that today, and I have them in the front and the back, and those are the heat tolerant tomatoes, the 5 varieties, and I think it's a good plan. I'm hoping it's going to go well, but I definitely wanted to get those planted. I didn't get them planted yesterday when I planted a bunch of stuff, which you guys will see in the video tomorrow, but I did end up planting them today, which was supposed to be before the rain. So I did it after work, kind of in the rain, but it works. Yeah, I got to get it done. JJ says, hi all. Hi, JJ. Uh-oh. I don't know what uh-oh you're referring to. Uh-oh, it's raining. All right. Verna put the camping pass for QuailCon. I don't know how many spots there are left. I have not checked. Last week there was 6, I think. Yeah, if you're going QuailCon, you should put that link and then the link for actually QuailCon, and be really good. Really good. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Diana, Tuttle Tot Farms here. Hi, Diana. She says, hey, all. JJ says my firstborn had their first eggs. Awesome. JJ, that is so nice. Isn't it so exciting every time they have their first eggs? It's so exciting. It's so great. And Verna, thank you for putting all of these links. Verna put my affiliate link for Quail University. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And Steve is saying that's always neat, JJ. Wonderful, JJ from Verna. Yeah. They are so tiny. Yeah. 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 And wait until you get a fairy egg. I've had fairy eggs. They also call them fart eggs, and they're like that big. So, and if you get one of those little tiny eggs, it's okay. They will return to normal usually the next day. It's just a blip in the system. I was out in the garden. My hair is all weird. I'm just gonna take it out of the bun. And JJ's laughing. Joy says they pay me $2 a chair. They charge $3. Okay. That's nice that they're able to have heat lamp or a heat source to sell them that young. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. JJ says my first one prolapsed. Uh-oh. She laid the biggest one. I separated her in darkness and she isn't pecked on and made it so she can heal. Yeah, so the ones that are just starting out, they'll lay some interesting eggs. They'll lay, soft shell eggs, whether it's just like the membrane and no shell. They'll lay small eggs. They'll lay double yolkers, the big eggs, and their system's just trying to figure it out. So give them patience, give them time, and most of them will equalize out. Give them a few weeks. Yeah. Chelsea says adult quail at the feed store are $12 each. Yeah, but that's a laying bird. That's not. I would expect that would be someone who is buying for a laying bird. I mean, if you were to buy an adult laying chicken, then they're going to be more than $12. So, so yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, so Verna says that is good, JJ, but sad news is it will happen again. Yeah, once a bird has prolapse, it's likely that it'll happen again. I've only had a bird do this once, and she did it the next day as well. And so at that point, I decided that she needed to be food, and that because it's gotta hurt. I mean, you can see it; it looks like it hurts. Yeah. JJ says I've read. That is true. So sad. She's beautiful and friendly one. I mean, you can give her time and see what happens. But it is likely that she's going to do it again. Yeah. And that's something that I've learned with quail is that they are resilient and they heal from interesting things. I had one that broke off a beak and it was all bloody. And I knew that they regrew the beaks. And so I was like, well, let's see what happens. And she was fine. She was eating fine. She regrew her beak and she went on with her life. So, I mean, they recover often from head injuries and all of that. So they are resilient. Yeah. Ed says, I don't do kids well. Adults can be bad enough. LOL. Plus my crafts are not at kid levels. Thank you, Ed. That's what I was trying to say is you were doing guided how-tos and Brooke is doing as far as I understand she's doing crafts for kids. Yeah. Yep. Verna says Katrina, it will only work with the modifications I'm using for the cooey, the cage for the cooey. Well, you got the modifications though, so there you go. JJ says my kids taught me that I don't do well with kids either. I do fine with kids as long as they are respectful and follow the rules and not annoying. Yeah. Yep. The ones that are not those things are troublesome. Verna says it will be at least 5 weeks before I will be able to start incubating my own eggs. Well, you're getting closer. Ed's laughing at JJ. That's why I never had kids. I don't have kids either, but I have a garden and animals, and it's okay. I don't need kids. JJ's laughing. Why so long? I think she had the other ones weren't very many. I don't know. Because the ones I will incubate are in the brooder themselves. Yeah. Yeah. So she had a very small hatch, and then she had a regular hatch, and she's waiting for the regular hatch ones to get old enough. Yeah. JJ says, I have top chat. Sorry, I missed some chats. It's okay. You got unwashed. Yeah, I figured, Joy, that they would be unwashed, but I was never quite sure if people were weird about that, like there's some people who are, or if there's regulations for it or anything like that. Yeah. So I just thought I'd ask the question. And you say I send the cleanest eggs I can. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Kelly's here. Feather Connections Homestead. Hey, Kelly. Welcome. Verna says, Joy, I don't wash my eggs either. Yeah, so she's talking about the raw pet food. For people, we're required to in California. Yeah, and I have the handler permit, so I'm required to. I didn't before then, but now I do. Everybody's saying hi to Kelly. Hey, Jennifer's here. Welcome, Jennifer. Question: is it normal for a male quail to start to crow at 3.5 weeks old? I would say it's not uncommon, but it's not common. Yeah, 3.5 weeks old. Every once in a while, you'll get one that is just has a little extra to it, and it's just like one or two, right? It's not everybody. I think this last batch we had one that was about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Yeah, it happens. JJ says now I can see everyone waves. And Erica says it's a very good reason, Verna. Yep, I think so. Everybody's saying hi to Jennifer and Kelly. Hey to everyone back, says Kelly. About the incubation. Yes. JJ says, don't know, Jennifer, but they are so cute when they try. Their first crows are so entertaining, and it's so entertaining to watch the other ones because the one is like, and then everybody's like, what was that? And of course, they do it more than once in a row, and so they get startled every time. It's so funny. If you guys haven't seen that, it's very entertaining. Yeah, you can watch it for a long time. And it's not like that happens for a day. Like they're shocked about the sound that's coming out of this guy for several days. Verna says, I don't have any sprouts either, Katrina, and during the rain the next couple days going to get my green stock started. Awesome. And if you guys are thinking about getting green stock, I do have a link in the description of all my videos for a $10 off. If you do it through that link, it'll be $10 off. I forget how much it has to be, like $75. I don't know. Basically, if you get a green stock, it'll be $10. And then I get a little bit of kickback for that, which is nice. I love green stalks. They are great. They are so great. If I had I am in a small property, but I'm 7,000 square foot lot. But if I was in like a really small property, I would garden probably completely in green stalks. And they're really great. Yeah. Steve says, got my daughter to plant a little garden. She got excited. Awesome. How far away is she from you? Because you can like just take over her garden. Yeah, that sounds great. Kelly says, today I did 2 10-tier Dollar Tree flower towers with T-posts. Awesome. Kelly, the only thing with that to think about, because I've tried to do similar things, is the water. You're going to have to water each and every little thing. And if you put, my advice would be to put it on drip, so you just turn it on and everything gets watered. But yeah, that is a way to do it, as long as it gets the water, and then also as long as it gets the fertilization. And the thing I like about the green stalk is that it has a watering system in it, so you don't have to water each and every cup, unless the plants are very, very small, like seedlings and stuff. But you only have to water the top, and it actually goes evenly to each layer. So that's just a word to the wise, is that water is going to be important. Yeah. Verna says to Jennifer, they can start trying at a week old, trying to crow. Yeah, I've not seen it. And I think the earliest I saw it was about 3 weeks. Yeah, but they, some of them have a little extra hormones. Steve says tomato, squash, beans, mustard greens, Brussels sprouts, okra, and a few other things. Awesome. 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 Now, is that in Mississippi or Florida? Which one are you? You're in 2 places. I forget what the other one is. Yeah. Good luck to her, and I hope that you're close to her so you can do some gardening too. Feather Connections says, was supposed to get bees today. Yes, but they pushed it back a week due to weather slowing down the queen's production. Okay. I know I'm on a list. I forget what it's from. I went to the Heirloom Expo several years ago and signed up for to be on a mailing list. I don't even remember what it was for. It's a bee place, but I don't remember the name of it. And they sent out an email today or yesterday saying that they had no more bees for the year because everybody's buying bees. So at least your order's in. Yeah. And good luck when you do it. You're going to have so much fun. I want bees. Okay, Verna's saying only 4 camping passes left for QuailCon in Miamisburg, Ohio, at My Shire Farm. September 2nd and 3rd is the event, and she put the link. Wow, only 4 left. Faceplace says Tractor Supply near me isn't interested in quail. I don't know that I would get. We were in there a couple days ago. I got another cattle panel to make a archway. I'm going to show you guys how to do that by yourself. I think that's a valuable thing to know. And they had 3 tubs set up, 3 troughs set up, and one of them, the only one that had anything in it, was ducks. And their water was completely dry, completely. And so I went and talked. I went and found someone, said, "Your birds need water." And he goes, "Oh, we haven't had time. We've been so busy." I said, "They're lives. They need water." And so he came and he gave them water, and then basically complained that they didn't have time to check them. And I'm like, then don't sell them. I didn't say that. What I said was, then more than one person needs to be responsible for them, because that's what I believe. Anyway, not going off. I think you guys have equal opinions, I'm going to guess, on things going empty. It had been empty for a long time. It's bone dry. All right. And JJ's asking, what is in your daughter's garden? Oh, I think he answered. It's above. Yeah. And QuailCon dinner tickets, there's a link for that. That's going to be quail. I think they're going to roast a pig again, and then sides, and it's very good. Kelly says, yeah, Verna, I talked to my local IFA, and they weren't interested in quail either. Yeah, I should talk to my feed store. I should talk to them. Yeah. That'd be good. Um, Verna says, Kelly, their prejudice just lines my pockets. Oh boy. She says some places just don't like to do anything extra that's not from corporate. Or sometimes they can't. Sometimes maybe not these ones we're talking about, but sometimes they can't step out of the box. Yeah. Joyce says, I had a new hen lay an egg inside an egg, and she's feeling better, but still not 100%. I had one do that too. I opened it on live on one of the live chats, and it was humongous. And it's very, very odd, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't know how that happens inside, right? It's pretty cool. Hopefully she's feeling better soon. Verna says, I have a bunch of freeze-dried kiwi feet. Are those dog treats? That's good. Or are you going to do keychains type stuff? I have no idea if they're tiny. Their feet are like that big, right? Yeah, maybe not. JJ saying, oh, to Joy. She's okay. Joy says she's in a cage by herself recouping. Okay, good. Hopefully she feels better soon. Rita says, I had that happen a few years ago. Yeah, I've only had it happen once, and it was pretty interesting. Feather Connection says, it's true, Verna. Oh, about pockets. Late comment, but JJ, I've had a fair amount of prolapse adults from. We'll see what they're from. From a line developed for bigger eggs. Keep in a dark cage for a few days, and they usually recoup. Okay, good advice. Good advice, Kelly. Thank you. Verna's waiting for the non-whites to grow up. Yep. Angela says, I watched your foraging video last week and realized half my yard is edible. Yes. Yes. Note, edible does not always mean tasty, but often it does. Yeah, start looking up the things that you don't know. Try it. Try it. Now, if that means you have a whole yard of milk thistle, maybe you get rid of it. Yay. So, are you going on an adventure to figure out what all you have in your yard and how to use it? Because I think that's really, really great. My yard, when I got it, was fully landscaped with not many edible things. And the only things from my yard that are still here from when I bought the place, plant wise, is there is a big plant wise, I guess. There is a lilac. It's actually blooming now. I saw it today. There's a lilac. There's a Meyer lemon, golden tears, which is not edible. I thought there was one other thing. Oh, a quince, and I think those are the only things, like larger things, that's from the original yard. I've done everything else. Yeah. Verna says, that's great, Angela. That means you have free food. It does. It does. And especially if you have like a dehydrator, or I suppose you could do it in a freeze dryer too. Like if you want to make a green, so greens don't rehydrate very well, but they make a powder. So if you wanted to use like a powder and add it to smoothies or add it to foods or add it, you can sneak nutrients in. Just make sure you know what you're grinding up. Then that's a good way to use that. Yeah. Ed says, kids, you can't return them. They don't come with a user manual. And even if you have some, that doesn't mean they will take care of you when you get old. That is true. That is true. Yeah, Joy says pet food people aren't fussy about the eggs being clean. Yeah. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So I thought I'd ask. So that's what happens. I ask questions, you guys ask questions, we all get answers. JJ says, I have an 8-hour light. She was too young and the egg was too big. I hope she recoups. Looked very painful. Yeah. Is everything inside now? You're gonna know what I know. I don't need to be explicit. Is everything back inside now? Because if it is, then that's good. If not, I've heard putting white sugar on it will it'll constrict the blood vessels, which will help it move back into place. Steve says, my kids are going to put me on a bus when the time comes, someplace warm, I hope. Oh boy. Verna says, I just warn everyone that I don't wash the eggs. If they want to eat them, then they should wash them. If they want to hatch them, they are ready to go. So basically you're selling hatching eggs that can be eaten, which all hatching eggs can be eaten. That makes sense. See, we have to label them differently here. If it's a hatching egg, it has a label that says, I don't remember what it said. I think it's just hatching eggs. And then balut has to have like the word fetus or embryo or something like that on it. Yeah, we have rules. This is California. JJ says, yep, Steve, if the kids send me to a warm place, I won't bite and kick. Ed says, Steve, is a trick. That bus is going to the old folks' home. Oh, boy. Steve says, Ed, they won't send me to an old folks' home because they get my money. That is expensive. We had my grandma in a assisted living place, and it was great because she got to play bridge. When I think they did it a few times a week. She did the exercise class and the hairdressers right there and all that. So like it was all inclusive thing, but it was very expensive. But we knew she was taken care of and eating and all of that. Yeah. JJ is laughing at you. Kelly says, I don't know what a green stalk is, but I'll watch that video you posted. Kelly, they are they're having a Mother's Day sale. They will have another one. The one I posted about, or that I talked about before, was I guess that was emailed out to people who are already customers. But they have a Mother's Day sale, and that's like their best sale of the year, and it's worth it. Like, I know with your busy schedule and having kids and having quail and having all of that, with your busy schedule, it would be so much easier to just once a day, once every other day, fill up the basin at the top and be done, and not have to like stand there watering your plants. Check it out. And use my link. It give you $10 off, and it'll give me a kickback. JJ says, I have a green stalk, and you do have to water each layer in dry weather. Don't count on the top one only. So we get hot in the summer, and I had it all through this summer. And what I experienced is now they have a lid. So I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm going to be ordering lids for them because it just makes sense to do it, right? And keep the debris out of it. But what I was finding is that the top layer dries out quicker, I think, because it doesn't have protection on top of that soil. It just has that piece of plastic for the basin for the water. So I think with that lid, that will help protect it. But what I've decided is if I plant something a little bit more hardy on the top, then that will be good. And like basil did fine. It really likes sun. It doesn't mind being dried out some. That did fine on the top. But yeah, so it totally depends where you are. And yeah, how established your plants are when the heat hits, that would probably have something to do with it as well. But yeah, it's a really good thing. Jennifer says, I believe Greenstock is located in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yep. 45 minutes away from me. I also love the Greenstock. Yeah, they're in Tennessee. I don't know if they're Knoxville or not, but they're in Tennessee. They are family run. They are they're good people. They're family run, made in the US, and yeah, they're good. Now they did come out with a automatic watering, which I think is a wonderful idea. I don't like their design because it clips on all of the pockets going up. And for me, I turn mine every day. So that means I would have to unclip it every day. Now, I think there's an easier way to do that. I think you could just clip it on the top one and put it in, and then I don't know how easy it is to clip and unclip those things, but I wouldn't do it all the way up just because I'm moving it every day. So if someone gets that system, let me know how it works. I'm not going to get it, but automatic is always the way to go. Okay, Tennessee and Mississippi, says Steve. I don't know where I got Florida from. Probably because they're the ones having the weather and you keep complaining about weather. All right, cool. Aaron says we have a Greenstock and the cheap version. Yeah, the cheap version meaning like what Kelly was talking about, the dollar store version. I mean, they're both going to grow stuff as long as they get water. that's the end result there. Yeah. Aaron says, Steve, I'm stopping in Memphis on my way to QuailCon. Cool. Feather Connection says, I'll definitely post lots of videos on my bees on my channel. Awesome. Yeah, I have watched so many videos on bees, and it's kind of like in training for when I can have bees. I'm near a school, so I can't have bees, even though bees go over there anyway. They're going to see them on the property, Anyway, it's a silly rule. Steve says, that's nice, Aaron. I'll already be in Miamisburg. Berna says, I only got the 3-tier one, only one I could afford during the Mother's Day sale. I figure next sale I could buy more layers. Oh, so yeah, I think so. That sale ended. Yeah, you can buy more layers. Yeah, you can buy more layers or get a second one, but whatever's cheapest. Sometimes, depending on the sale, it might be cheaper to get another one. Yeah. Oh boy, Aaron and Steve teasing away. JJ says they work best at the 3-tier unless they change the design since I bought mine. Yeah, the ones on the bottom get watered fine for mine. Yeah. She says, wait, you're going on Monday? Dang, you'll beat me leaving Thursday. Oh, I need to get my plane tickets. I have not done that yet. Yep. Verna says, I bought the deep leaf ones, not the ones for herbs. Yeah, the original. There's original, and then there's the leaf planter. The leaf planter, it's smaller cups, but it has more because it has more tiers if you get the big one. And that's the one I used for the strawberries, and then the other one I used for peppers. So, and then I have more than I use. I'm going to test out for some different things this year. There you go. All right. Jennifer says, Verna, the best time to buy Greenstock is Mother's Day. Yeah, Mother's Day. So they had a like a Mother's Day, pre-Mother's Day sale. I don't know. I got an email and told people about it. Yeah. I think they have another one coming up. I don't know. You can even grow potatoes in Greenstock, Verna says. You could. You might be limited on how many potatoes you get, is what I'm thinking, if you did it that way. But you could do that. Yeah. Joy says, my feed store had someone ask where they could get quail, so they contacted me. Awesome. Yeah, Steve says, score, Joy. That's awesome. JJ says, every year I try at least one new food plant. That's a way to do it. And if you don't try a new food plant, you at least try a new variety. Yeah, that's awesome. Berta says, I have a lot of broadleaf plantain. Yeah, you don't need to put that in the planter though, right? You can just, like, it just grows out there. We have a lot of different, so there are a lot of different plantains out in the world, worldwide. But in the United States, it is basically a weedy species that is just there. And plantain is a medicinal plant, and it's a good thing. It's a good plant to know. So, and there's different types. We mainly have English plantain here, but there's other types as well. Also clover and dead nettle. Yeah. You guys keep talking about dead nettle. I don't think we have that here. Steve says to Angela, if your neighbors see you out foraging for edibles, they may drop a box of food on your front porch. Oh boy. Wow. Verna says, Katrina, I haven't seen any life in my fig tree yet. It will happen. You guys are, I don't know how far behind you guys are in the planting season, but yeah, some of my fig trees just started leafing out like a week or two ago, and there's two that are going for full leaf right now, but some of the smaller ones aren't doing much yet. JJ says, I thought mine was dead too until I removed a little bit of soil and saw new sprouts. Waiting for warm weather. Some of the stems look fleshy. Awesome. Well, I like figs. I have figs growing on my Texas everbearing fig right now. All the rest of the figs are like end of summer, beginning of fall fruiters. And so I'm excited to actually get some figs. The first fruit in the yard is the strawberries, and I've been snacking on those. It'll be interesting to see if there's enough to freeze, because that's what I would do, is I would freeze them, and see if there's enough to do that with the strawberries this year. There wasn't last year really, but last year was the first year, and it takes strawberries a little bit to get going. I also didn't cut off any of the runners last year. Yeah, which is okay. You don't need to. JJ says, yes, it took about 6 hours for everything to go back inside the quail. I have used honey. Okay, good. I'm glad that it's back inside. Angela says, Steve, maybe that will be my plan. Your subtle plan, go trade them greens and stuff. You might have tons of medicinal plants as well. It's worth looking things up. Yeah. JJ says, nice to Verna. Verna says, California and Alaska like to regulate everything. Wonder you don't need permit to breathe. Well, Angela says, I have mostly that spiny weed you ate in the video, and tons of this sticky green weed. Oh, the cleavers. We do have a blackberry bush in the field behind our house where we pick some every year and make pies. Awesome. The spiny weed. I don't remember. Oh, the spiny weed? Is that the milk thistle with the white veins? Yeah. I was trying to think what the spiny one was. Verna says, oh, the pear tree near me has plenty of beginning pears on them. Awesome. May have a good harvest this year, as I'm the only one that harvests them. That is awesome. That is very awesome. Yeah. And for those that live in cities or have access to cities, there are so many fruit trees in people's front yards. Don't go pick it. Don't just go up and pick people's trees, please. But there's so much fruit that people have that just fall to the ground and ends up rotting. And I suggest people knock on the doors and say, hey, do you mind if I harvest? And, maybe they just don't have time to harvest. Maybe they are unable to harvest or can't get on a ladder or something like that. And so you can make a deal with them, that you harvest and you get a certain percentage, or maybe you're going to make jam with it. And so you bring them some jam after, have a relationship that way. That's a really good thing to do if you don't have your own land, is to, kind of barter like that. Because a lot of these places, they just have them raw on the ground. We see that here with a lot of different fruits. Yeah. JJ says, I hope you get some figs this year. This is my second year, no figs yet. Ooh, yeah. So some fig trees are everbearing, which means really that they give two crops, that one in the beginning of the summer and one at the end of the summer. I don't think they actually go all the way through. My Texas everbearing does that. And then the majority of them that I know about, that I have experience with, fruit at the end of the summer. Yeah. Verna says, same here, JJ. In the fall, I'm bringing it in so it doesn't go dormant. Okay. That'd be good. Yeah. So you just, I don't know if they have a chill requirement. That'd be something to look up, Verna, before you do that. Look up and see if it has a chill requirement. But yeah, if it doesn't, then that'd be a good thing to do. JJ says, yes, I have to mulch my green stock to keep the soil from drying out. Also, I turned my 5 tiers and 3 into 2 and 3, and they do much better. Okay. I put rabbit manure on the tops of each of them as mulch, and so maybe I officially did mulch them already. I don't know. Yeah. Kelly says, "Oh, that's good to know. For the top, I'll add lavender on the top, but mine aren't in full sun either. They'll get early evening sun, which is the hottest time of day in Utah, but not all day full sun. Yeah, most plants that say full sun, what they're really talking about is 6 hours. So just keep that in mind. Like, full sun isn't like blasted throughout the day. It's some things might need a little bit of shelter. Yeah. Check it out. Check out my videos. Check out other people's videos. You've heard people talk about it on here. I recommend them. Yeah. You can fit so much too. Erica says, we have a pear tree, but the pears disappear before they get ripe. I'm guessing there's some squirrels. Yeah, I still have never eaten a quince off the quince tree. The squirrels get them first. Yeah. Exchange fig recipes. JJ and Vern's Place one. Yeah. Fig recipes. I mean, I just eat them. I've eaten them. I've dehydrated them. I've stuffed them with cheese and grilled them, and like cream cheese. And they're all very good. Figs are always good. Verna's saying, I only get morning sun. Yeah. And no recipes. I'll eat them straight from the plant. Yeah, that's usually what I do. And if there's a lot, then I'll dehydrate them. Yeah. And JJ's laughing. Angela's saying, I was considering getting a green stock in September, but sale in May? Sold. Yeah, the Mother's Day sale, I think, is their best sale. And then again, if you use my link, which is in the description, then it goes you $10 off. So yeah, they are so good. Like, if I was to redo my driveway, because I have a bunch of like Rubbermaid bins. In fact, the two that I have not opened up yet. They're still in boxes from the last sale. They are going to go onto my driveway. And I mean, I could have lined that whole driveway with green stalks. I mean, it might be walking off if I did that, but but yeah, my vision for a long time ago, and you guys can watch this video. It's the strawberry tower. like, I don't remember what I named it, Strawberry Tower or Strawberry something. It was my introduction video for Greenstock, putting it together and all that background. And I made these things out of PVC that was for strawberries. It had a soaker hose in the middle, and it would work if it was wider. It was only this big, and what happens here is it just dries out. I mean, that soaker hose would have to be going constantly in order for it to actually work. But if I think it would work in a more humid area, less dry area. But what I had planned originally is to have that in it, like the PVC in a barrel with more strawberries in that, like just set up there, and then have that lining the driveway, which my driveway is not that long, and then have archways going over and having something grow over that. That was what my original plan was, but original plans are for practice. Yeah. Verna says right now when you need to buy them, is when you need to buy them, use Katrina's link and use the promotion code Mother's Day. Yeah, if you do my link and Mother's Day, then that's going to be the best deal. Will do, she says. Go for it. JJ says, oh, I scraped the bottom of the bucket and we will be going to QuailCon. Yay! JJ, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you're close enough to drive, so that makes it all the better because it's cheaper than it would be otherwise. That is so awesome. We'll look forward to meeting you in person. And everybody else who's coming that I haven't met in person yet. Yeah. Verna says, Erica, you have to pick the pears before they are ripe, or they'll rot in the center before they're ripe. Yeah, pears are something that you pick. You basically, what you do is it's hanging on the tree. You go like this, and if you lift it up and it comes off, then it's ripe. It'll be hard still. But you basically just lift it up. There's no pulling, there's no tugging, there's no twisting. You just lift it up. And then you put it in the refrigerator. And depending on the type of pear, it can refrigerator ripen. And some of them can store for months in the refrigerator. And then you can bring them out, periodically when you're ready to eat them, a few days before. And then they will finish ripening on the counter. Yeah. Pretty interesting with pears. Verna's saying great to JJ. JJ says I had to wrangle hubby a bit and remind him about his yearly hunt camp. Yeah, he has a fun thing. You have a fun thing. Yep. Is he coming with you, or are you going by yourself? Verna says, Katrina, you have what we mostly call ribbon plantain, where we do get some of that, the majority is broadleaf. Okay. Yeah, we call it, I think it's narrowleaf is the other common name I've heard it by. Yeah. It has the same properties though, I'm pretty sure. JJ is saying I've even was his camp chef and dishwasher, so he gave in. Oh, that's nice. And Steve is saying, woohoo! And Verna saying, cool. Yeah, that'd be great. Erica says, my husband wanted to know why I wanted to go to a quail convention. I told him it was for the same reason he would go to his computer convention. Oh, boy. All right. Logic with logic. Most of the time, when I tell people about that here, they're like, what? And I have to repeat myself because they can't imagine there would be a convention for quail. I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a good thing. JJ says, so I get to meet everyone. That will be nice. I think hubby would like Papa's workshop and see how Zach has everything set up. Yeah, so Papa is Papa the Builder. He is Zach's father-in-law, and he makes everything on the farm. He's an engineer, and his brain works in unique ways to have unique buildings perspectives, which is pretty awesome. And he knows how to do a whole lot. Yeah, and the setup, when I saw the setup in person, because it's different when you see it in person, and it was like, wow, well, that's possible. It's not as big as what you think. It's still big, it's still a lot, but it's not spatially as big as what you think. Seeing his videos and stuff. Yeah. Verna says Erica is more important than computer convention. Quail feeds you. Oh boy. Oh, you guys jumped. Hang on a minute. I gotta find you. Okay. Hang on. I gotta find you. Gotta find you. All right. Yes, milk thistle. Forgot the name. Milk because it's milky because it has the white ribbon of milk, milky color. Erica says my husband is in IT and part of a company that built an operating system, so computers have been feeding and housing us for over 20 years. Good point. Good point. Verna says I have permission to take any food at the senior center. That's good. That's good. Hopefully it's good food. Great, Erica. Then you can tell him is just as important. When his eyes fail, the quail will still feed him. Yep. JJ's saying nice. Verna says, Katrina, figs do not need a chill requirement. I had Chicago Hardy and I did that way before. Oh, okay, awesome. Always good to check though. Good. Aaron says, I have figs on my trees now. Aaron, you have everything growing now. Like, I just planted green beans and you guys are already harvesting. Does it get cold there? That's a good question. Aaron's in Louisiana. Does it get cold there? JD says, I used to love Fig Newtons, but the way they make these days is nasty, so I look forward to making homemade. Yeah, you can do that. That's something you can do. JJ's drooling about the figs. Erica says, I told him that as he likes to eat, then it was in his best interest for me to learn more about raising them. There you go. There you go. And Verna put a link there for the strawberry tower setup. Thank you. And if you have the tools, the way that I had it set up will work if you have like probably that big a tube instead of like this. If you are in a humid area, I would bet that it would work. You might have to figure out how many times you need to water it a day, but yeah. Aaron says South Louisiana has a super long growing season. Yeah. JJ's laughing at Erica. Sometimes hubbies don't understand there are more than one person in a marriage. We just have to remind them. All right. Remind away. Verna says, yeah, Aaron, if you were serious about what you said Saturday, I may take you up on it. Driving her up or moving her down, moving her down. Aaron says, come on down. Erica says he knows he was just being a brat. Steve says, Greenstock, I don't think you can use your $10 and their discount together. You have to remove one. No, so it's not. It's a you use the link to get to it, and then you have the discount on there too. So it should have both because it's the link that gets you the $10, and it's only $10 off your first purchase. It's not $10 off every purchase. So it's $10 off your first purchase. Yeah. So it is on top of. Yeah. Steve says green stock, but you can still use your link. Yeah. I believe it's on top of. I believe it's additional too. But you still use the link. I get you there. Verna says I just put them on the counter, pears, and as soon as they're ripe, slice and freeze dry them. That's a good idea. How do they rehydrate when, or do you just eat them dry? How do they rehydrate with the sclerids in them? Sclerid, that's a fun word. Sclerids are the little, why pears have those little crunchies in them. Those are called sclerids. And I learned that in botany. Pears were our professor's favorite fruit, so we learned that. How do they rehydrate with those little things called sclerids? Yeah, just puts on the counter. Oh, so Steve says Greenstock, the current sale, Roots 10. Yeah, so Roots and Refuge has a has that. I think the Mother's Day sale that they had is gone. It might not be. Yeah, but they will also get you that. But that's not my link. That's Roots and Refuge. They're good. JJ says, yes, hubby will be with me and Sophie too. Awesome. Vase Place says, then he will end up on the quail wagon. Aaron says, that's awesome, JJ. I get to meet you all. Yeah, it'll be good. And for anybody who's thinking about going, it really is a great time. And it's a great time. It would be great even if there wasn't anything planned. It was just a place for us to meet up. Like, it would be great at that level. It is fantastic with all of the different talks that are happening and all of the different things you can learn and all of the connections you can make and all of that. So it's a really, really, it's a really good event all around. JJ says, yep, looking forward to meeting everyone. Yep. And JJ says, Louisiana is very hot and humid. I have a sibling living there, but having a longer growing season sounds good. Yeah, I'm not into the humidity. Yeah, Aaron says we are canning beans right now. Second harvest already. Wow. How far apart are you harvesting? Like, are you going out there? I saw the basket that that your wife was doing, that she harvested. But I'm guessing you're not out there every day. You're probably out there like once a week or a couple of times a week. Yeah. Vase Place says when you bring them in during fall, then the figs will give you 2 harvests. Awesome. I have an Anna's apple that did that. And it was, it does do that some years. Yeah. Aaron says 360-day growing season here. So you have 5 days of freezing? Is that what you're saying? Oh, wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. JJ says we have another 17 to 30 days before beans go in ground. It snowed today. Oh, well, I wanted to get them going. I got part of them going. The ones in the backyard are planted. And yeah. All right, we're going to pause here and talk about the topic of the day, which is gardening. That's what I've been doing. So we've already been talking about a little bit about these things. And what I want to know from you guys is you're playing in the dirt, right? You're digging holes, you're putting seeds in, you're covering them up. And I want to talk about hands. So some people use gloves and some people don't. I don't use gloves unless I'm dealing with something that's itchy and sappy, like pulling out my neighbor's morning glory, or if I'm dealing with thorns. So there are studies that show your hands contacting and working with the soil have good effects. So I want to know, 1, which one are you? And 2, if you want to share, you don't have to share. And 2, How do you clean your hands after getting all the garden stuff on them? I just use soap and a nail brush, but I know some people use what is it called the orange goo, orange something. I don't know. The people use it for mechanics as well. But yeah, so that's what I want to know, because I think people sharing this. I know sometimes when you're in the tomatoes, you get all green and stinky and all that, and some people use vinegar for that. So yeah, what do you use? And then I'm going to go up and continue the conversation that I left off on, and we'll catch up. Steve says, I think Aaron plants on Christmas Day. Yep. JJ says, Steve, that is unheard of in my world. You can still plant inside your house. JJ says, what botanies is she talking about? Botany. Botany is the study of plants. It's okay. It's okay. Sclerids is the one I was saying. I will type it in just so you know the spelling. It doesn't matter in anybody's life. I think that might be spelled right. We'll see. We'll see if it is. You'll get there with that spelling at least. Vase Place says, I haven't rehydrated any. I love dried fruit to snack on. It'd be interesting to do an experiment, like just to see. Like maybe take a bunch of dried fruits that you've done and just like rehydrate one piece of each or something and see how they rehydrate. I don't know. If you like them that way, though, continue to eat them. Vaseplay says, without teeth, I have missed raw carrots, but freeze-dried carrots I can eat without killing my mouth. Okay, that makes sense. Very cool. JJ says, aw, freeze-dried anything, easier to eat. I made another payment on my freeze dryer, so maybe I'll be getting it. I have, but maybe we'll be doing stuff sooner rather than later. Erica says, Verna, you can grind the raw carrots and still eat them. You can. JJ says, yum, carrot juice. Erica says, my grandma used to give up her coleslaw, so that's how she ate it. Okay. Oh, you guys jumped. You're talking about dirty hands, I'm sure. Vaseplace says, Erica, grated carrots taste a bit different. Yeah, I can think it would be. There's something about being able to bite something that adds flavor. I can imagine that. Okay, Aaron says his first bean harvest was 5 days ago. Second harvest was 2 days ago. We will probably have a harvest Wednesday. So you're doing like every 3 days? That's good to know. I've done it only on a smaller scale, and literally I go out like every day and pick whatever is there. So I'm looking for efficiencies this year, because I hope I'll be getting lots and lots of green beans and I can put them up. All right. Vase Place says, that wonderful, Aaron. I agree. That is wonderful. JJ says, actually, Erica, I need this advice. Well, there you go. Verna says, I don't use gloves, Katrina. I love getting my hands dirty. I use soap and water, then file to clean out my nails. All right. Aaron is also in the no gloves team. Steve says, I use my hands, soap and water at kitchen sink. JJ said, I prefer to go naked hands, but my skin is tender, so starting to use gloves. There is a lotion. It's called Gardener something. It works really well, but it reeks. I'm sorry. I don't like perfumes, and it smells like perfume, and I couldn't stand using it, but it did work. You can try using that, or try looking it up. If they have a scentless version, then that would be something I would recommend, but it was way too much. Made my eyes water. Not a perfume fan. Aaron says soap and water to clean. JJ says, earth grounding is important. Yes. Yes, yes. Hey, Gidros is here. We knew you were there in the sidelines somewhere. I start with gloves, then usually end up taking them off, or I have a lot of rabbit manure in the area. I wear gloves. I mean, that's relevant. That is relevant. I wear gloves when I process animals, but not in the garden generally. But that's a good reason too. Angela says, I use gloves, but sometimes the dirt still gets in the soap and water with a nail brush. All right. Goo Gone. Is that what's called, Erica? Yeah. And it's like an orange or citrusy thing. Yeah. Base Play says exactly to JJ. Steve says, I think it's an A. I think I spelled that wrong and it's an A. I don't know. I could never find my gloves when I need them anyway, probably in my boat. JJ says, I don't speak Botanese. And Verna says, Katrina, Botanese is language that botanists use. I figured that out. I didn't know if she knew what the word botany was, because it's not a common word. It's not a common word unless you're, in the sciences or in deep to plants. So I want to make sure we knew what we were talking about. Joy says, I don't wear gloves. I use soap, water, and nail brush. Aaron says, Steve, we start seeds in the greenhouse around Christmas. You're right. Usually all of our direct sow seeds go in the ground first week of February. We harvested tomatoes yesterday. That is ridiculous. If there wasn't, I might be on board. Oh. JJ says, actually, I enjoy learning, just picking on Cat. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Verna's allergic to Goo Gone. I think, is it the citrus part of it? I think you were talking about citrus before. Don't use it then. Steve says, I make my final payment on my freeze dryer next week. Awesome. 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 I'm considering just paying it off this month. I'm thinking about doing it. Because I don't know how far out they are, but I know that everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, maybe I need that this summer. And yeah, try it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking hard about it. Gidra says, I also wash with soap and water, but I live with ugly and rough hands from February to October. Hey, gardener hands. That's the name. Vase Place is saying, wonderful, Steve. Yes. Yes, I agree. Everybody's congratulating you, Steve. Yay, Steve, Gidra says. Oh, Verna's just now seeing you, Christina. She comes on as Gidros. You know that. Angela says, have to go and tend to the quail. Was great chatting with you all instead of watching next day. I have a great evening. Have a wonderful evening, Angela. Thank you for stopping by. Awesome. Vase Place says you can put soap or Vaseline under nails to keep the dirt out. You mean beforehand? I've heard of people doing that, but I've gotten soap under my. I don't like things under my nails. Isn't that like a torture or something? Yeah. JJ says, I make my own lotions because I have allergies. Allergies to just old-fashioned sunflower oil and beeswax. Cool. I have yet to do that. Verna's saying, always good to have you, Christina. The question. Yes, always good to have. Always good to have everyone. Verna says, the fumes, it isn't allowed in my home. Yeah, perfume. Yeah. It's a little much. Erica says, I buy gloves, but usually the dogs take off with them, so I end up going bare hands. Okay. My mom used to be a ballerina, and she had her point shoes, and point shoes, of course, are full of, sweat and blood. And when she got new point shoes and she had to break those in, and she was done with her old ones, she used to give the old ones to the dogs. And point shoes are basically leather with a little bit of wood, but leather. And the dogs love them. So I can see they would like to chew on some leather. Yeah. JJ's laughing at you, Erica. Verna says, me too, Katrina. That's why I use the file to clean out my nails. Don't put anything on it before working. Yeah, my brother one year got me, I don't remember what they're called, but they're these like plastic gloves. They're like dishwashing glove type of material, but they really, really stank. And they had like plastic claws on them, and they're supposed to be for gardening. And I'm like, well, I'll try it. It's supposed to be like so you could dig it and the stuff. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. So I don't use those. Yeah, I just figure you can wash up and there you go. Yeah. So we got a bunch of skin gardeners, huh? That's good. Yeah, there's a lot of good things that happen when you're working in the soil with your hands. I would agree that if you're working with manure, maybe maybe you use a shovel or put on gloves. That was a good point to make. But if everything's broken down and all that, I'm good to go. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been gardening a lot. I've been planting things, and I'm going to continue to give you guys videos as I can. I am busy for the gardening stuff. And tomorrow you guys are going to see the main planting that I did yesterday. And then Thursday's video is going to be all about QuailCon. And Sunday's video is going to be more planting stuff. Pretty sure. You guys are going to get it a little bit later. Actually, I think I am going to do Wednesday, and that'll be Wednesdays. Is more planting. Anyway, I'm just trying to give you guys as much to give encouragement and say, get out there. And I know it's too early for some of you, but there you go. Berta says, skin gardening is good for the soil and good for you. Yep. JJ says, when we all meet, we can recognize each other by our garden beaten hands. Yeah, it'll be end of summer then, huh? Yeah, end of summer. I'm trying to think of what was fruiting then. Like if I had to give instructions. I don't think I had to give instructions on what to do. Well, the water went off and he didn't notice, but there you go. JJ says, I do take off my shoes once in the garden. Dog isn't allowed there. Yeah, I have not done that. I have wood chips and stuff, and there's thorns in some areas, so I don't want to do that. But I can see how that would be good. Steve is saying that is comforting. JJ. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Well, you guys have any more topics? It looks like we're running out of discussion, which is fine. That might mean I can go plant something else. No, so that's what I've been doing is gardening. We hopefully will have chicks in the next couple days coming out of the incubator because they just went on lockdown last night. And so that is hopefully going to happen. Some of them were a little heavy in there, so that's good. And yeah, good stuff. JJ says, yep, one thing about living in the Midwest, not too many cactus. Yeah, we don't have cactus here, but I mean, I have blackberries that kind of, the cuttings of them kind of get places. Yeah. Base Place says, I have been doing research on what grows good in shade. Yeah, that can be a tough situation, but it's going to be, you're going to be able to grow stuff for for sure. Yeah, you're going to be able to grow stuff. JJ says, mine too, even two peeping. I don't know what two peeping is. Yeah, so shade, you can grow a lot of leafy things in shade, and you can grow because it gets warm where you are, right? It's not like cold in the summer. It gets warm, so the heat will do stuff. But yeah, you'll be doing good. Oh, amaranth is good for shade. I did not know that. I have amaranth seeds that I still haven't planted. I was thinking, oh, maybe I should plant them this year, and then I didn't. I should plant something in these blueberry containers by my front window because the blueberries didn't make it. Gilroy's not really blueberry weather. Yes, it gets hot, Verna says. Yeah, so you should be able to plant more things since it gets hot in the shade. Erica says, that reminds me of the eggs that got bumped. Oh, yes. 3 are in lockdown. Hope they hatch. Good luck. Good luck. JJ has lockdown yesterday. 2 chicks broke through the shell today. Yay. Steve says, lettuce and kale, spinach like shade. And I planted kale and spinach in one of my beds that gets more shade. So, yeah. No, I haven't, Verna. I have been trying to get things together, and the post office has this thing where it's not open on the weekend. I have to drive to the next town if I want to mail something on a Saturday. So I will be mailing stuff. Yeah. And then you'll have it. Erica says, I started with 41, so Atlas is not my favorite dog right now. So 41 down to 3. Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. JJ says, oh, you're right, Steve. I have my old cold crops in the shade. Yep. Hey, Ed's back. Had dinner. Welcome back. JJ says, you should already have your cold crop seeds in the ground by now. Sometimes you can go a little bit later, and especially if she's shady, she might be able to. Verna says, rainbow chard, which I also planted more of. Sweet potatoes, rocket, tamarillo, nasturtium. Nasturtiums are yummy. Alpine strawberries are so good. I want to do a green stalk all alpine strawberries. I haven't done it. They're so good, and they're the first strawberries up every year too. And radish, blueberry, celery. Awesome. Oh, you have more. Parsley, mint, rhubarb, bush beans, ginger, cardamom ginger. Ooh. Chive, mushrooms, and strawberry guava. That sounds really good. I've had strawberry guava, and I think I tried to grow a plant of it, and it didn't end up growing. So yeah. Oh, okay. Tamarillo is the tree tomatoes. I know what it is now that you explain that. They're like almost teardrop shaped, like oblong fruits. Okay. And JJ's saying yum. Yum. Yeah, we have lots of fruit on the trees that's forming. There's cherries out front. They're green, but we have lots of fruit forming, which is really, really great. And it's going to be great. It's going to be like every year it all comes in at once. I'm like, okay, I need to do something with it. And I always end up doing something with it. But it's just kind of funny because you can eat it. You don't just eat it then, you eat it throughout the year. So it's really nice to have. JJ says, I have garlic chives this year. Very tasty. Yes. Yeah. I have that in my yard. I'm trying to get it to naturalize. I've planted it in a few different places. Don't know if it will naturalize or not, but I'm letting it seed now, and so hopefully it will. And the thing is, it comes back every year, so the bunch will just get bigger and bigger, and then the seeds will spread. Yeah, it's very good. The only thing about garlic chives to know is that if you cook them, you're not going to have much garlic flavor. So if you're adding them to a dish, either cut them up raw on top or put them in the dish and just barely heat it, because if you cook it, the flavor's not going to be there. Yeah. Um, Verna's saying garlic chives grow wild here. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Erica said, I wish I could grow rhubarb. I miss it, just not enough to move back to the snow. Oh, is it a cold weather crop? We had rhubarb when we moved in Central Oregon. We moved in and there was rhubarb there. And we ended up taking it out because my dad was afraid the dogs would eat it. And none of us ate rhubarb. That's all I know about rhubarb. That's not true. Supposedly, it prevents the roots prevent gophers from going into that area. So there you go. Don't have direct experience with that. I just have heard that so many times. Yeah. JJ says, wow, Verna, it took me 2 years to get to this point. You know, if you once you are settled though, once you get once you get your system down, and the plants that are long-term permanent plants are stationary, and you're good with where they are, and you don't need to dig them up and move them, and you let them just grow, like, you're going to be golden. You're going to be golden for sure. And garden beds, from my experience, garden beds really mature between 3 and 5 years, and you're going to start to see your harvest. You're going to start to see the health of your plants and your harvest go up after 3 years, after 3 to 5 years, from my experience at least. Steve says, if I open a jar of pickled okra and it fizzes, can I eat it? I do not know. I would ask you who pickled it and where, and if you know it was done properly. I have never opened pickles and had them fizz. So you can look on the National Center for Home Food Preservation, and see if there's anything to do with that. I will look up the link right now. Here we go. Copy and paste. Verna got it before me, but I'm going to put it up there anyway. Thank you, Verna. I know you have this on a sheet. I haven't put that sheet together with this link on it yet. Thank you. Aaron says, Steve, from personal experience, you will digest it really, really fast. Do not recommend. Oh, you have experience with this. What is it? Okra in particular? We need a story time, Aaron. What's your story? JJ says, yeah, Steve, doesn't sound like a good idea. Erica says, as a kid, I would eat it straight from the garden. Yeah, it doesn't grow here very well. I've gotten very few fruits when I've tried, so I decided that I don't need to designate a space for that anymore. Verna says, Erica, that was when I ate it, not fond of it now. Okay. Yeah, I want to hear your story, Aaron. I would say I have never had anything fizz that's open from a home canned jar of food. So I would say personally, don't think I would go any further than that. If you want to research it. And that was a link to do that. Okay, and Verna put the canned quail and rabbit video link up there. Thank you. Yeah, our grow outs are doing good. The rabbits, and they are, and yeah, doing good. Steve says the lid was very secure and tough to open. Guess we'll toss. So it's not just about whether or not it's sealed. It's about whether or not it was processed correctly. So if it was not processed correctly, it can still seal and have a strong seal. So yeah, hopefully it's not a whole batch. Yeah, and Vern also put the food preservation playlist. Thank you. That has a bunch of canning. I think it's mostly canning at this point, but mostly canning things there. Yeah. JJ says, good idea, Steve. Would like to meet you in September. Yeah, we want to see you again, Steve. Erica says, I don't think I would trust Fizzy Pickles. That sounds like a really bad name for a like a rock band, Fizzy Pickles. Like a 70s rock band. Sue says, I should be the first face you encounter. My apologies in advance. Oh boy. Oh, JJ's laughing. Also a bad name for a soft drink. Yeah. Yeah. In general, it's a bad name. I don't know where that would be a good name. Oh, Verna says, no, Steve, they will see me first. JJ says, actually, Fizzy Pickles kind of sounds tasty. And Erica agrees. So pickle juice is supposed to be good for you. So I wonder if you could make a carbonated version of pickle juice and sell it. I bet it would sell. So I think JJ and Erica, you need to go into business with each other and sell fizzy pickle juice. it would probably sell, guys. Steve says, I'm with you at the welcome tent, Verna. So she's going to be like putting her face in front of yours, right? Oh boy. Aaron says, long story short, not a good idea to eat canned stuff that fizzes. It usually means it started to ferment. Exactly. If you do eat it like I did, well, it's not fun. That's not much of a story, but that's okay if you don't want to share. Or if it's not family friendly. Is it kosher? It's only kosher if it's been blessed by a rabbi? Something like that. Steve says we'll have a contest running to greet them as they get out of their cars and scare people away. Oh boy. What? Ed, you're killing our fun. Ed says they already have pickle soda. But is it called Fizzy Pickles? Do they have a good name? Is there a good name? Interesting. So it's selling already. You could have a competition. Verna says, because you can do all the running, I'll just stay with the paperwork. Aaron says, I'll be in the butcher workshop on Saturday. Yes, Aaron will. Aaron will be in the butcher workshop and with Jasmine and Brad. Did I say that right? Brad? Yeah. They're going to be butchering and helping you butcher and helping you figure out how to butcher, and you can actually butcher. So hands-on, which is the way to go. Erica says, I was actually agreeing with you, Katrina. But yes, JJ has a point. Oh, boy. JJ says, cool, we get to meet Vernon and Steve right off the bat. Yep. There you go. Aaron says, it wasn't our canned stuff. Store-bought pickled okra. Oh, so it was okra. I wonder if there's something with okra that has it special. I'm not talking very well right now. I wonder if canned okra has special requirements that would make it do that if it didn't. I'm just wondering. It seems connected here. Um, Steve says, Aaron is going to make your dinner too. You're at the grill. You're at the grill. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so Verna says that she'll be at the welcome tent until it's ready for her speech. Awesome. She's going to be doing masterclass on introductory to quail raising, and it's going to be great. I think I'm speaking after you, Verna, both times. Yeah. Aaron says, yes, me and Steve are cooking quail. Awesome. And Kui, Aaron? You're loading on the responsibility, huh? JJ says, so I have to be nice to those handling the food. I mean, I would. Quail 101. Yes. Quail 101, Quail University. Hopefully, if you haven't taken it, you will take it. And if you are thinking about raising quail, then it's a great resource. And you can use my link. It's in all of the descriptions. And I get a little bit of kickback from that if you do that. But it's great. Aaron says, yes, Verna, Kui also. And JJ's laughing. Some food may not make it to the food tent from the grill, Steve says. Oh, boy. Aaron says, I'm not serving food, just cooking. Christina is helping serve food. You guys are so helpful. You guys are so helpful. I know I'm Kelly and I don't know if Kelly's still on. Kelly and I are going to be emceeing on, and so you'll hear us talking over the at every hour, telling you what's going on at every hour on Saturday, and so it'll be good. We're going to be splitting that. We haven't talked about how we're going to split it, so at some point before September, we'll talk about that, Kelly. We have time. Verna put the affiliate link for Quail University for me. Thank you very much, Verna. It's a really, really good course. And the thing is that they're going to be, so there's Quail University and there's Quail 101, and there's going to be more things after Quail 101. So there's going to be more classes developed as time goes by. Now, it takes a long time. Those that have gone through it know how thorough this thing is. It takes a long time to figure out a course, to make a course. So it's going to be it's going to take some time for the second course to come out. Yeah. JJ says, I think you use Vacepike's link. That is good too. And Verna's saying thanks. Steve says, to Ed, did you send Katrina and Kelly any jokes? I did. I think we're both pretty dad jokey. I think Kelly's okay with me saying that. JJ says, not sure. Sometime the computer mixes me up. Yeah, that's okay. The important thing is to get the information to you. So that's what the important thing is. Aaron says, LOL, Steve. We might have to screen Ed jokes. Yeah, no. I see Ed's not here to defend himself. He said he was back. I don't believe him. Verna says it took them about 7 months to figure out the first one. Exactly. And like the whole technology of it will go smoother for the second one, I'm sure. But it still takes a lot of time to plan and do content and do like the testings of the videos and say, okay, but we also wanted this in it. So I'm sure it takes a long time. Yeah. Aaron says, have a good night, everyone. I have to wake up at 4 a.m. Central Time. My goodness. Good night, Aaron. Thank you for all of your conversation and participation today. Good night. Everybody saying good night. Hey, Ed's back. No, dad joke. Oh, a flatulence joke? Okay. I know, dad jokes are so great. The good ones are. There's some bad ones out there, but there's some good ones. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and seeing all the talks and hanging out and having fun. It's going to be great. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Think we might be. Oh, you want to say more? Okay. I was like, we're going to hang up now. Steve's like, no. All right. Steve says you can't say dad joke and bad joke in the same sentence. But can you? I think there are some. Yeah. There are some that are just too bad. Oh boy. All right, guys. I think we're going to call it a night. We talked about a lot of stuff today, and hopefully if you have not been gardening with your hands, you can do some gardening with your hands as long as it's not in gross things like poop. And that will be a great thing to make things better on your health, as long as you're not digging in poop. And just be happy out in the garden, and I think it'll be a good thing if everybody gardens. All right, a couple more comments. Verna says, that question about what came first, chicken or egg, depends on if you incubate your own eggs or another. Yep. JJ says, thank you for the live and for the good community. Good night, all. Good night. Steve says, thanks for taking time for us, Katrina, and thank everyone for community time. Yes. Thank you all for joining. Verna says, lots of fun as usual, Katrina. Blessings, everyone. Thank you for coming. I enjoyed talking with you tonight, and have a wonderful night. We will see you next week at next Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Have a wonderful night. Ed says, everyone have a great night. Be safe out there. I agree. All right. Have a good night. Bye, guys. Oh, and hit the like button, Ed says. Okay. Thanks, Ed. Good night, guys.